Okay, in this video, we are going to add some basic scripting to our interactive so that the mole uh, will not move very strangely. Now, if I were to play this by pressing Ctrl Enter, I'll test this. Let's test this. Okay, you can see the mole comes out and then just repeat. So what we're going to do is that we will need to stop it at the very start. Okay, let me go to the timeline. I'm going to select one of the mole, which is the instance of the mole here. You can see. I'm going to double click this in. Now you can see we're inside this animation. Okay, we will need to create a new layer. This new layer will need to drag out and out of the mask. I'm going to call this script. Okay, then in the first frame, I'm going to right click action, and we're going to use the wizard to help us. Okay, so normally it's quite uh, difficult for some of you to get used to the scripting parts, but by using the wizard, it will help you a lot. Okay, so now I'm going to start off this. So what the action that we're going to do is that we're going to use the stop. Okay, we're going to say this timeline we want to stop it, and we press next, and with this frame triggering effect. Okay, and just finish and add. You can see now this script is being added in, and if I were to test it out, I'm going to close this, I'm going to go to the scene, I'm going to save, and I'm going to Control Enter and test it out. You see now the mole doesn't come out at all. Okay, so I'm going to close the previous one and this one too. Okay, so next part, what we're going to do is that we are going to make it pop up. Okay, we'll make it pop up when we click it. So we're going to have a script here. So we're going to a new layer. Let's set up a new layer. This new layer, we're going to call it script. Okay, in case you cannot see it, okay, we'll call it script. Okay. Now I'm going to right click this keyframe and press action, and I'm going to use the wizard. We'll say start animation. I'm going to say play. Cancel. Oh wait. So before we can actually tell each of the mole which mole to actually play, we need to name all these mole. So I'm going to select the mole. Okay, and see at the right side here, the object. Okay, I'm going to call this mole 1. I'll give this a name. You can see it's an instance of it. Then the second one, okay, you can see on here. So the first one we name it as mole 1. The second one is still no name yet. It's an instance of mole because in the library actually it's an instance of this mole. So we're going to name this mole 2. Okay, and the third one I'm going to name it as mole 3. Okay, so now we have these 3 mole. Each of them has a name. Okay, then in this script, now when we go action, okay, and we use the wizard, we say we want to play, we can choose the action which one to play. So I'm going to choose mole 1 to play. I'm going to press next. You ask me what is the triggering event. Okay, so what event do we want to trigger? We're going to trigger by mouse click, and by clicking what? We're going to click mole 1 to trigger the mole 1 to play. Finish. You see, this is the code added in. Okay, it is a function. It creates a function. I'm going to tap in. I like it neat. Okay. And so this is the first one. So actually, if you want, you can actually copy and paste this entire thing. I'm going to copy. So how does it work? Let's read this first. So this is actually the current timeline. So I'm going to call this I'm going to create this variable, okay, to have an instance of it, and with this instance we will select the mode inside this instance, and when it's on click, okay, it runs a function. This is the function, and the function asks this particular mode to play. So how do we test it? So let's zoom off first. I'll close this, and I'm going to press Control Enter. Okay. Now, if I were to click on the first mode, I'll click it, you can see the mode comes up, and then it goes back again. I will click again, goes. But the other two is still not able to do so if I were, even if I were to click them. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to replicate this code. Okay, going to go to action. I'll select these codes here, and I'm going to use copy. Okay, Control C if you know the shortcut key. Control C, copy, paste, paste. I'm going to change this to mode 2, mode 2. This one to mode 3, and this to mode 3. Okay, so I'm going to save all this. Now I'm going to Control Enter. Okay, you see now. So you can see, depending on which sequence I want them to run, okay, they'll come out here. So I think the mode now needs to stop when it's the head totally came out of the hole. So we will need to go inside the mode here. We need to copy this frame. Let's copy this frame. Okay, make sure you just only select one frame. We'll copy this frame, and we're going to right click here and paste the frame here. So it's supposed to play, and then it stops here. Okay, so now let's click, click, click. Okay, now, but if I click, you can see it goes, it continue to play again. So how do we prevent this from happening? Okay, we want to allow it to click once. So to do that, okay, let's go back to the action here. Go to the main timeline. Make sure you're in the scene 1. Right click action. Okay, we will need to create 3 variable. Okay, we create 3 boolean variable. So the first one will be mode 1 click equals false. Okay, then I'm going to write use Control D to duplicate and change them to. Okay, so how do I do it again? I'm going to repeat this. Select the line that you want, press Control D, okay, and press Control D again. You can see it duplicate the entire line, so you don't need to copy paste, just duplicate the line. Then I'm going to select this and change it to mode 2, change this mode 3. Currently this 3 variable is created, but there is no use to it. So how we're going to do it? I'm going to select this, go copy, okay, and I'm going to set up a condition. Okay, so put if this mode click is equal to false. You can see I use 2 equal. Okay, because in conditional structure you need to use double equal to make comparison. So I'm going to put this to false and close round bracket and add a curly bracket here. You see, then I'm going to cut these codes here. Okay, mode 1 click is false, and then after that you play, and after it plays, I'm going to set this mode click to true. That means it can never be clicked again. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy this entire condition. I'm going to replace this, and I'm going to change this to mode 2. So replace this, change this to mode 3, and I make sure this is mode 2 click and not some other. Mode 2 click, mode 3 click, mode 3 play, mode 3 click. So this way, each of them has a boolean to keep track whether they're being clicked. Once they're being clicked, it can never be clicked because the condition will be false. Okay, when its click is false, it will run. After that, when it's true, this condition no longer applies and therefore it will never be playing. So I'm going to close this. I'll press Ctrl Enter. Okay, now I'm going to click. You see now if I click again, it doesn't come out anymore. Okay, okay, that's it. Okay, so we'll have this first part. Okay, if you want to try again, you can refresh. Now you can see. Okay, so all the more is up. So this is the first step of us uh, trying to add in simple interactive to our movie clips. So that's it for this video. I'll see you in my next video. Okay, thank you very much.